Hello, homesteaders. Good to be with you here again today. Just recently, we did a YouTube presentation on how to build a simple shower and bath. And I promised at that time that in a later presentation, I'm going to show you the special plumbing that we use for this. And that's what we're going to do today. Hot water on the homestead can be a challenge. When I traveled to the third world, hot water was always a challenge. In a lot of places there wasn't any hot water. Well, I do like to have hot water, but I don't like it to be a huge expense and a hassle. The average cost of a hot water heater installed today is over $1,000. But that's not really the big cost. The big cost is keeping water hot 24/7. And that'll take up about 18 to 20% of your utility bill. One of our goals here is to keep things simple, and another goal is to keep things as inexpensive as possible. And I've worked on this hot water situation for a long time because when Marilou was here, she wanted to have on-demand hot water, and I fought with that hot water heater for about 20 years. And I had a heck of a time with it. So when I came back here by myself after Marilou passed, I said, man, I am not going to deal with that hot water situation. We are going to make a change. I came up with something that I think you'll find very useful. My producer will put up an illustration right now that will show you how all the pieces fit. It's really quite simple. The key here is that you're going to heat the water on your stove or your other source, maybe in your microwave, whatever. But you're going to heat the water. I heat up about 2 quarts and I bring it to a boil. And then we put that water into the reservoir, and the opening for the reservoir is right next to the stovetop. And it's very simple then to just heat the water, pour right in. And then if you're going to use it for showering purposes, you'll pour in a little bit of cold water there to get it just to the temperature that you like, because you're not going to be able to adjust the temperature. It's going to be one temperature coming out of the hot water spigot. So you pour in a little cold water, get it just the temperature that you like, and then when you go to your shower and you turn on the spigot, out comes your delightful warm water. We also have it designed that you can use the hot water in your kitchen through that kitchen faucet, and that's handy to have sometimes. Although I don't always have hot water coming out of my spigot in the kitchen. I wash the dishes in warm water and I just heat it up on the stove there too. So that's basically how it works. You'll see that there are 2 SureFlow pumps, and I want to talk a little bit about these SureFlow pumps. These are the kind of water pumps that you will see typically in recreational vehicles. I've been using these guys for somewhere around 30 or 40 years. And the thing I like about SureFlow pumps is that they work very well, but if I ever have a problem and I call SureFlow to get help, they're always there and they're always great. The customer service is really terrific. They're not inexpensive, but it's a pretty inexpensive way to go when you compare it to, say, having a big deep well pump that's pressurizing your whole house. The way they work is they have a pressure switch built onto the pump. When you turn on the faucet, the pressure drops and that turns on the pump. When you turn off the faucet, the pump quits running. And that's about as easy as it gets. You can probably get these pumps for anywhere between $100 and $200 depending on the size of the pump. And because of the way we're using it here, you could use a smaller pump very efficiently. It's not a pump that's providing great pressurized water where it's going to be blasting out of your garden hose. You're going to have somewhere around 55 pounds of pressure. In a house, a lot of times they'll have 80 pounds of pressure. So it's a little slower, but it's still a nice pressurized system, makes a wonderful shower, and you're really going to enjoy having it. Also, it's important for your hygiene. Being able to shower and keep clean are really important to your health. And on the homestead, that's going to be important. And on the homestead, we do a lot of hot, sweaty, dirty work. And so a lot of times that shower is like one of the best parts of my day. We should talk a little bit about how the drain works in your small house. We can do a lot of different things with the gray water and those things are outlined in the training manual. Basically, we just have a regular drain. Most of them have a P-trap, and what that does is it allows water to stay in the drain so that the gas from sewage and so forth cannot come back into the house and come up that drain. Now, the problem with a P-trap, depending on your living situation, is if it freezes in your house, it's going to freeze that P-trap and it's going to break. And that can be a problem. So there's another way to handle that. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll just basically build a plastic beanbag and just put it on top of the drain in the shower so that the gas can't come back in. And then we eliminate the P-trap so that we don't have to worry about that freezing. So those are a couple of things. As far as the gray water goes, we, as I've told you before in another YouTube presentation, we use a special soap from Oasis. The general purpose soap we use for shampoo, for our body wash, for everything. And the beauty of that is that if you use that soap, you can use your gray water right on your plants and your vegetables and so forth. And the salt that is in typical soaps that would kill the plants are not in this soap. And so you can use that and you won't hurt your plants, and you can use all that gray water. And that's important. So if you want to know more about the gray water systems, check that out in your training manual. I hope you've downloaded that, and make yourself a hard copy just in case Wi-Fi quits working. Yeah, it just did in Italy yesterday. I'm sure they'll get it fixed, but man, when it's not working, think about that. So put everything that you really value digitally, put that on paper. Put it in a hard copy that you can store up, particularly the stuff that you're going to need for homesteading. So that's how you do it. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions, we're here to help you walk through those and figure out how to make it work for you. I recommend that you give it a look and give it a try. We've used it now for about 5 years, this particular system, and it's worked extremely well, and it's extremely efficient, and you're not wasting money heating water that is just going to sit there in the tank for 23 hours of the day. So I think you'll like this. Give it a shot. Let us know how it works. Thank you very much. Keep your eyes on the sky, and I want you to be clean when he comes back to get you.
Jesus, take me like a rock and roll me till I'm whole again. I've been ground down by this world, my soul is weary thin. You can take these ragged edges from my spirit, let your love pour in. Jesus, take me like a rock and roll me till I'm whole again. Been made hard like a stone in this world. By this world, but you can take me, you can hold me, you can mold me like a piece of clay. I'm gonna sparkle like a diamond as my love keeps growing stronger every day. Jesus, take me like a rock and roll me till I'm whole again.
I got one.
Good. And so what's the key that he's looking for? What was the key word in this whole thing today?
Faith.
Faith. And that's the only thing that's going to get us through. But thank you, my friends. We'll see you next time.